we all become sexually stimulated in different ways. There are different languages, sexual languages. You have to understand how your partner, the language that they speak sex in. Men, we need to know this, is that the vast majority, 70 to 80% of women need.
Can you be physically attracted to somebody, but then not have sexual attraction?
Okay.
I say this because I remember in a past relationship, I was physically attracted to her, but sexually, it just didn't work. Right. And that's why that relationship ended. She was this beautiful, beautiful girl. Her mind, her intellect, she was super smart. She was super funny. She was just everything. I think there's a point before we went to have sex that I thought, this is it. This is the one. We then went to have sex, and I've never said this before. I remember getting up and going over to my phone and afterwards, and saying to one of my best mates, I just go, I don't think I can ever see her again.
See, I wonder how much of this though plays into to foreplay. Because have you heard about erotic blueprint?
I've heard about it. I think I heard it on that Goop show.
Okay, yeah, it was on Goop too.
Oh, really? Yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
So and I buy into that theory, which the overall premise is that we all we all become sexually stimulated in different ways.
Yeah.
Right. And the thought is that men are just ready all the time. It's like we're ready. We're just ready. Come on in the room. We're just ready. But that's not the case. Some of us, it's about contextual. Some of us, and this is men and women, right? Some of it, it's romantic. Some is you need something that people would call bizarre. Going on.
Kink.
Yeah, some BDSM. Going on. So that's why I wonder how much of that was about sexual stimulation in that situation versus you not being sexually attracted to the person. So I wish we could almost go back, and I could be your sexual surrogate.
Unfortunately,
in the room.
she's got a baby now. Oh, no. She's got a husband. So
and you're with someone.
Yeah. So, but it made me pivot. But I think you're actually spot on, because what I came to learn a couple of years later was that I had this one-dimensional view of what sex was. And then, as I've said on this podcast once before, when I started viewing sex as potentially a different set of languages, I thought, fuck, I'm speaking English. Maybe she's speaking Spanish.
Yes. There you go.
And I need to learn a new language in order to have an effective sexual conversation. Everything changed.
Absolutely.
And it changed for one of my best friends too, because he was having a similar issue with his sex life. And I said, what if you just saw it as your girlfriend speaks a different sex language? You're speaking one and you're like, I'm unsatisfied because she's speaking Spanish and she's going, I'm unsatisfied. She wants touch. She wants the 30-minute non-penetrative build-up.
Yes.
You want to tie her up. You want to gag her and whip it and all that kind of kinky BDSM stuff.
Right.
You need to talk.
You need to talk.
And learn the language.
Another language. And then also too, because you drop penetration in there.
Yeah.
This is something that most men, men, we need to know this, is that the vast majority, 70 to 80% of women need clitoral stimulation, not just penetrative. This is where the feedback, once again, we have no feedback loop. Porn. That is our teacher.
Yeah.
That's our teacher. And what we have to understand is no, I love what you're saying. There are different languages, sexual languages. You have to understand how your partner, the language that they speak sex in, and you have to deliver it. And that's also why communication is the bedrock of all relationships. It really is.
Yeah.
Taking yourself seriously is not a great place to come from in having great sex. People's best sexual selves come out when they're confident.
Okay, question 3. What is one thing we like about our sex life?
I think that's a nice question.
And what's the intention behind this question, Steve?
Tammy Nelson, a sex therapist, believes it's more effective to focus on what's working if you're in a sexual rut. She says, you don't change your sex life by saying, I hate it when you go to the left. You say, I love it when you go to the right. She encourages people in relationships to name one thing they appreciate about their sex life. Could be something they did 20 years ago, could be a subtle gesture, how one partner touches the other's face. I'm not sure why they use that example. Focusing on those moments can help you reignite erotic energy, Dr. Nelson says.
So this question is happening under the assumption that you are not having a good sex life, presumably.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be, because even if you were just talking with your partner about things you enjoyed about each other sexually, that would be erotic and fun, and you'd kind of go, oh, we really appreciate that. We're having we do have a really good sex life.
What I will say with this is, in general, whether you're in a relationship or seeing someone, I think to point out the things that you enjoy in the relationship, whether they be physical or acts of kindness or just things you really like about them. Why are you looking at me like that? I think that's a really good thing to do. I think it reinforces the other person feeling valued, and it also kind of gives you a nice barometer, especially when you're getting to know each other, as to what the other person is enjoying about the connection. I think it's lovely.
This is one of my strong...
I think it's lovely.
This is one of my strongest beliefs, is that people are not specific enough about what they like about their partners or their friends. And people really, really appreciate specificity about what you liked the other day in the bedroom, what you found really sexy, something they did, something you like about them, something that turned you on. It's just massively beneficial to every part of the relationship. Why are you all giggling like school children? I'm talking about something here.
No,
She's laughing because I'm smiling, but I was only smiling before just because it was funny to me that this is now the first point at which Audrey has decided not to get personal.
Whoa.
Yeah,
So what are you saying?
It's just she got all shy on this one. She was really ready to. She was really ready to run her mouth when it came to the washing. But all of a sudden now she's gone quiet on the personal front.
I said it was nice.
Oh,
very specific.
I think, look, that people's sex lives is one of the areas where the ego is most sensitive. And so approaching it from a positive point of view as a way to build on success rather than start from a place of failure is important, because we are fragile in that area. If we start in with, here's what I don't like about what you're doing, or I like this, but you've never done it to me, those are not phrases anyone wants to hear in that context. So yes, I agree with this one. And I think that saying what you really like about your sex life is a great thing to do before talking about something that you would like to try, or something you might like to adjust or do differently. So yes, I'm in favor of this one.
And this is something that you can probably, even in early dating, right? It's an easy win to get, where it's like you're starting to learn each other, and if something goes well, you should sort of celebrate that a little bit and just try to double down on what's going well.
I agree that people's best sexual selves come out when they're confident.
I implore you.
Implore away.
Please. Please. You're all going to die.